back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it was just me and my daughter today. It was daddy and daughter day. She was sick, and we just watched some fucking Blues Clues, some Peppa Pig, some fucking... What was the other fucking show? Coco Melons, just singing some fucking rhymes. All day, just fucking TV and cleaning up shit. She was sick today. I was walking her into the childcare. We were inside the gate. We were just there. We were almost there. We were walking up the ramp, the disabled fucking ramp. Less than 20 seconds away from walking in to the childcare fucking door. And my daughter, who was all fucking perked up, she was excited to go to school, just stops and fucking throws up. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And then she stops. I'm like, fuck, can I still take her to childcare? If I just wipe up that little bit of spew on the front of her jacket, they're not going to be able to tell. And then fucking she spews again. Massive one. Went all down the front and on her shoes. And I was like, I'll still take her in. I'll see what they say. Like, we'll see. We'll try and negotiate something. So after that, we just had to turn around and straight back home. Fuck, I was like 20 seconds away. It was 20 seconds away from it being their problem and not my problem. And so we got home, and then for the next 6 or 7 hours, it was just fucking cleaning up shitty nappies. Just constantly cleaning up shitty nappies. I think it was about 8. And some of them were small and some of them were like fucking brutal. This is how brutal some of the nappies were. I started looking at jobs again. I was like, fucking... Crane doesn't look too bad at the moment. What's fucking going on there? So I had a little look at the Crane jobs again. And I didn't really fucking look that hard. But I went on Airtasker to have a look at fucking... little bits and pieces I could do, like change a fucking light bulb and all that sort of shit for like $300 a fucking hour. And there was nothing on Airtasker I would even contemplate doing. So I went back to the shitty nappies. I was just like, fuck, it's one day. Just deal with it for fucking one day, alright? That's how quickly I was out. I was like, fucking, I can't be doing this fucking every day. It was like 4 hours. I was like, fucking, what's happening on the job market? Maybe I fucking... Because if I was at a job, I wouldn't have to do this. My wife would have to work from home. So it's probably going to be worth getting a fucking job. Oh my God. Apparently there's a big fucking building shortage. Tradesman shortage and builder shortage. I was trying to get my dad to fucking do some work. He's a fucking builder, but he's like given up on building now. After his hip replacement, he's just like, nah. And it's too hard to get sparkies and chippies and all that sort of shit. I was like, fucking just get an ad in the paper. I'll fucking help you work once every like 2 or 3 months. And just fucking charge people through the fucking roof. Apparently there's like a backlog and you can't get a builder here for like 6 months at the moment. So I'm like, just fucking take one job, charge them like 10 times what you would normally charge, and what he normally charges is like 5 times what normal builders normally charge. So it's worth getting out of bed, and I could be fired up for like 2 days a month or 2 days every 2 months, maybe even 3 days once every 2 months. But he wasn't into it, so I think I'm just going to have to stay the course. Got to refocus, but I tell you what, changing shitty nappies all day can fucking test your conviction. That's for sure. On another note, there's some absolute fucking cat freaks out there that want to see this Goldie, this fucking stray cat that I've adopted. So next time it comes around, didn't come around today, but next time it comes around, I'll take a couple of photos with me and the majestic fucking beast, and I'll chuck it up on my Patreon. Exclusive content. Goldie the stray. Anyway, it's time for this week's Boyle Breaks History. So, fucking, this week's Boyle Breaks History, I'm going to do the Manhattan Project. because it's come up a couple of times this week from different places. And I was like, yeah, I sort of know what the Manhattan Project is. I know it had to do with the bomb, but I had no idea really what the fuck it was about. So here it is. Here's the Manhattan Project. So during World War II, a couple of fucking German Nazi scientists fucking split the atom or created nuclear fusion. The theory behind nuclear fusion, what is it? I don't even know. Fission? It's spelt Fission. So let's just call it fission. So nuclear fission, that's where you split the atom and then it causes a chain reaction and like a big fucking bomb. My knowledge got fucking stretched immediately. So a couple of German Nazis fucking discovered it. Well, they didn't discover it. Like I said before, the theory behind splitting the atom had been done way earlier. But these two German Nazis were the first ones to actually do it. So after that happened, the US and the Allies realized that if they've been able to split the atom, they better fucking start figuring out how to split the atom as well. And they knew the Germans would be able to use it in warfare as well. So they're like, fuck, we can't let the Nazis beat us to this, because if they get the atomic bomb before us, then fucking God knows, but fucking there wouldn't be a lot of Jews left. That's for sure. So it was actually Einstein, Big A, Albert Einstein, who went to the US government with a bunch of other scientists going, you need to start developing a fucking atom bomb, because if they get to it first, we're fucked. So the US government created the top secret fucking research and development program called the Manhattan Project to develop the atomic bomb. At the time, the US weren't even really in the race for an atomic bomb. They were fucking lagging behind. It was the British who were actually ahead at the start, and then for some reason the British handed over all their fucking research and knowledge and gave it to the US. So the US caught up, but they had this Manhattan Project, which was led by this dude, Robert Oppenheimer. And now that dude's a fucking interesting dude. He could speak like 8 languages. He was like a philosopher and shit. He was also like a practical physicist. I think there's a movie coming out about him. He's a fucking wild man. So Oppenheimer was leading this Manhattan Project, and they were basically starting from scratch. So Oppenheimer went around and recruited all the smartest, best scientists, engineers, fucking chemists, just the smartest of the smartest in the world, pretty much. Richard Feynman was part of it as well, famous scientist. But they all gathered together and they went to a secret location, and they just spent like 2 or 3 years developing the atom bomb from fucking scratch. They went from no atomic bomb to atomic bomb in about 2 years. That's insane. You have no idea how insane that is. If you knew how hard the science was to develop and the engineering was to develop this bomb, then you would be as impressed as I am. Honestly, probably the biggest fucking scientific achievement ever, almost, to do it that quickly. Aside from the COVID vaccine, they got that COVID vaccine out in like 3 months. That's a bigger achievement, I would say. But you know, both are huge and both are deadly. So after 2 years of tinkering and sciencing, they finally had this prototype of the atomic bomb in July 16, 1945. And that was the first ever test of the atomic bomb. On that day, it was tested in Alamogordo, New Mexico. So July 16, 1945, first ever fucking atomic bomb was detonated. After the test, Oppenheimer, Robert Oppenheimer, the guy who led the fucking project, he said, This is his quote. It's from the Bhagavad Gita. He said, "Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds." Probably not the quote you want your main man fucking saying. Anyway, let's get back to it. So remember the date. First atomic bomb was detonated on July 16, 1945. A very short 3 weeks later, on August 6, 1945, a atomic bomb was being dropped on the heads of Japanese people. That is a quick turnaround. That's just like fucking, all right, that's good enough. Fucking fly it over to Japan. I don't think we've fully worked out all the... Just get it there. It'll fucking do. So fucking from the first atomic test to Hiroshima was like 3 weeks. And then 3 days later it was Nagasaki. That was a big month. That's a big month in history, isn't it? But yeah, that's history. After those 2 atomic bombs were fucking dropped on Japan, they surrendered. The Nazis didn't get their fucking atomic bomb before the Allies. God knows what would happen if they did. I mean, history is very cloudy and foggy. It's not easy to figure out what's fucking right or wrong. But that's it. That's the Manhattan Project. It was the development of the atomic bomb. Anyway, that'll do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.